So you've had your high carbon steel knife for a while, and to be honest, you haven't taken care of it. You've cut lemons with it and you've put it back into the sheath dirty. You've thrown it into freaking mud. You've left it outside all night, and your knife is starting to look like this. Now, you can fix this. It's not completely ruined. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to do the more basic maintenance on how to clean that rust off pretty easily. Now, I'm not going to cover sanding the rust out. That is possible. If it's really bugging you, you can clamp it down, and with some sandpaper, you're going to have to sand that out. But that takes a very long time, and you're completely redoing the finish, and this is not what this video is going to cover. This video is going to cover the more simple things you can do. And there's two things that I like to do that are fairly simple. First of all, I like to start with the easiest thing first. I will take some WD-40 and wipe it off. And that's rust right there. That's the stuff coming off. That's taking off all that surface rust. Now, I like to use WD-40 for this because WD-40 has properties in it to help eat away rust. For those who don't know, this stuff here, it's made to open up rusted locks and rusted chains. So it's got stuff in there to dissolve rust. Now, this could take a while, but I'm really going to put some work into it, trying to get that rust off. And I'm probably going to be editing this, so we're back. Now, I've been sanding this knife for about 2 minutes, 3 minutes maybe, and the way I know I'm done with this step and how I can't get any further is when I wipe it down with WD-40 and the rag comes out fairly clear and there's no more brown spots on there from the rust. That tells me that I've gone as far as I can with that step. Now, the rust, I don't know how clearly you can tell on a camera, but most of the surface rust has been taken off. But we still have some of those deep rust spots left. Now, I don't know if I can get those out without sandpaper and refinishing the blade, but we're going to try. Next step is going to be Scotch-Brite. I recommend some of the finer stuff. Don't use the really, really aggressive stuff. Use the more fine stuff, suited for automotive work. You don't want to use the super, super rough stuff. Anyway, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to wipe it down. And this Scotch-Brite is much more abrasive and is much better at taking this crap off than WD-40 is. You can see it's coming off now. Now, these are some seriously deep rust spots, so I don't know if I'm going to get these out, because I really did abuse this, but I'm just taking off as much as I can. Just trying to, restore it to a working state. Now, the tip is you don't get your knife to this point. You don't get your knife to the point where you have to refinish the blade. Now, if it's really bothering you, you can either send the knife back to the maker, and they're probably going to charge you for it, or they might even tell you it's not possible, because in this knife, for instance, I'm not even sure how I'd go about it, because this, I can't take the handle off here, so I'd be a little bit hesitant to, do it. But if you're going to send it to maybe a knife modifier or the knife maker, they're probably going to charge you a pretty penny for it, because it is a lot of work to get this crap out. But you can see I'm just going to stop this video again. So it's been about 2-3 minutes, and I've completely refinished the blade with sanding it by hand with the Scotch-Brite pads. Now, we still have those deep rust spots left, but as I've said numerous times already, that's not going to come out without refinishing the blade. And I've also gone ahead and I've put a really quick edge on there with a 400 grit belt. So right now, this knife has been restored back to its functional point. Very sharp. Now, it's a bit of a dirty edge, but you get the point. We've gotten this knife back to a usable point. It's no longer the rusty piece of steel it was before. As you can see with the bolsters here, or not bolsters, the flat area here, this is the side I didn't touch really, and it is very, very rusty compared to this. This is much nicer, and it's a much nicer finish. Now, if you have a hand rub blade, it's going to be a little bit different, a hand sanded blade. I'd be very careful with Scotch-Brite. I might not even use Scotch-Brite. And in the case of coated blades, it's also a little bit different, because a coated blade should only rust on the edge. I have seen coated blades rust on the coating. I don't know how that happens, but it does. But it should only really rust on the edge. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. I really do appreciate you watching. If you have any questions or anything, drop them in the comments. And I hope I've helped a few of you guys out.